lovely and darling viewers, it's Jen here at Check Her Joy. Today I am reviewing Something to Talk About by Meryl Wilsner. This is a adult contemporary romance with two female leads, so a queer romance. It follows Jo, who is this producer and writer in Hollywood, and her assistant Emma. Jo invites Emma to the SAG Awards with her to be a buffer about all these awkward questions. And they have this moment on the red carpet that is captured by all the cameras where they're so at ease with each other that everybody is they must be dating and shipping them. And the two of them are like, whoa, we're working together. We can't actually date. What? That is not a thing that's happening. But as the book continues, they realize they actually do like each other and have to decide whether or not they're going to act on those feelings, and how they also feel about the press hounding them and trying to force this thing to happen. So it's told from both Jo and Emma's perspectives. Jo's background is that she is a former child star. She's also a Chinese American woman working in movies and television, which is not a great environment. That is not particularly welcoming to women or, Chinese Americans in general. And then she's also a closeted queer. So she writes for a show that has a lot of queer main characters, and people think that maybe that's something, but she's never actually come out. She's never been public with her dating. One of the reasons that the rumors start spreading out is because she never comments on any of her relationships. So Jo makes the decision to not comment, not refute this one either, and so it's just fueling speculations. So Jo's current work is working on this television show called The Innocents, which has a lot of queer story arcs and storylines. She's gained a lot of popularity for this and a lot of recognition. But she is also trying to move out of television and into movies, and specifically writing a James Bond type spy character. I think it's Agent Silver in the book, but basically a chauvinistic male spy kind of a thing. And the press is very skeptical about whether or not she can do this. It's totally outside her normal writing, that character, but also she hasn't written movies before. She hasn't written anything action before, and so there's a lot of pressure on her. And so when she invites Emma to the SAG Awards, it's really to kind of be a buffer between those questions that the press might hound about Agent Silver that she hasn't even confirmed being a writer on yet. But she and Emma have this great repertoire, this great back and forth where they just get along so well, and they're friends also. They're two pretty supportive women about each other's careers. Emma's 14 years younger than Jo, and so she feels very young. I think Emma's 25 and Jo's 40, basically. I'm not sure those are the exact right ages, but that's the age range. So Jo's been at this for a while, and she knows and kind of has her own visions about how the media and how the industry treats women and queer women. Whereas Emma is very kind of openly bi. She is not hiding the fact that she's bisexual. She has some more experience of dating, whereas Jo basically hasn't dated a whole lot because she doesn't want the press in her business. And so she hasn't had a lot of moments where she's attracted to a girl enough that she feels like she wants to do a long-term relationship. So we're also going into this book with two different levels of experience in dating, which was also fun. Emma's at a point where she's just starting out her career. This job working for Jo is kind of her big break. She went from becoming a props person on The Innocents to getting Jo's notice, and now Jo's so what do you actually want to do? I can be a recommendation for you. I can help tell you what the next steps are to get into that field. And so Emma's having to decide what she actually wants to do, because she's the kind of person who would happily just stay as Jo's assistant for a while if Jo didn't push her onwards. She can clearly do so much better than just an assistant. And the fact that they're actually friends, Jo's let me help you. I want to do this. So this book is a slow romance. They do eventually decide that they do actually like each other. They have this moment where they're dressed up for the award show, and they're both looking at the other and going, damn, she's gorgeous. But also can't really say that because of their work relationship. We also have, like, Emma so much younger than Jo that she has always seen Jo and been, like, always had a crush on her. Like, since she was, like, a girl, like a young girl, like in high school and stuff. She's always had that crush, that celebrity crush on Jo. And now they're working together and she's like, rein it in, Emma, rein it in, be professional. And then Jo's not even out. So Emma's like, she wouldn't even want to date a girl anyway. But then Jo is dealing with the fact that she actually likes Emma, but is like, I can't date somebody I'm working with. That's ridiculous. And then she's also very worried about sexual harassment. There's actually a whole subplot within this book about sexual harassment and, like, this director hitting on Emma and thinking it's okay because she's supposedly sleeping with her boss, according to the press. And then, like, the reactions between these two women, like, going after him and, like, taking him down, which was just, like, really satisfying, but also not exactly how that really happens in the real world. But it's romance, and I like the happily ever after aspect of this. I can suspend my disbelief and just enjoy happy ending. The main part of this book, I think it either works or doesn't work, depending on whether or not you like Jo and Emma's friendship. Because they're definitely not just a normal boss-employee relationship. They rely on each other. They're part of each other's lives. Jo depends on Emma for writing advice and, like, having her come in and read scripts, even though she's not supposed to be able to read the scripts at this point. There's also a subplot in here where Jo goes to her nephew's baseball game and finds out that Emma's sister and the sister's kids, Emma's niece and nephew, are playing in the same baseball league. And so, like, Jo and Emma's sister Avery become, like, best friends, which was fun. Just, like, this accidental fun thing that happens. I love all the women in this book who are just, like, supporting each other as well. Like, Jo definitely would have supported Emma regardless of whether or not they had, like, a romantic relationship, just because she's supporting other women in the industry. And, like, that's something that she finds to be really important because of, you know, the way that the press treated her as a woman. And Jo's also trying to be like, I have all this money, what am I going to do with it? And, like, making decisions based on, like, how to spend it in a way that does the most good, which I really love about Jo's character. There are a few moments in here where Emma, like, completely overreacts to things, and it feels over the top, but at the same time, that's kind of par for the course for romance. If there's never any misunderstanding, then, like, there always seems to be some misunderstanding and some jealousy that shouldn't be there if they just, like, talk things out rationally. So, it happens. There are a few moments that are like, really? That's what you're gonna act like? Especially Emma, but Emma's also so much younger than Jo that I'm kind of like, yeah, she's only, like, 25, whatever. Yeah, that's probably a normal reaction at that age. As I get closer to Jo's age. I'm like, these young people. So I really enjoyed this book. There's enough fun parts of it. I love the banter between these two women and the way that they support each other. I love the actual romance that's happening. I love the look at Hollywood and the way that, like, television and movie gets made. It was fun, basically. I loved something to talk about. So, 4 out of 5 stars for me. There's definitely a few spots where I'm like, this is too over the top. This is, like, doesn't strike right. It's usually Emma that was driving me a little bit crazy. But, yeah. Go check out Something to Talk About by Meryl Wilsner if this sounds like it's your kind of read. I admit that it's, like, not going to be everybody's. There's also, like, some discussions about, like, being a Chinese American and, like, the industry, and it's written from somebody who isn't a Chinese American author, so I don't know how accurate that is, but I loved it. I liked it. It was a good read. Totally worth the time I spent on it. So peace out, I love you guys, and keep reading. Bye.